Mike. Mike hadn't got his headset on. Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to Richmond Kickers Soccer, USL Pro Soccer action here at City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia, getting you ready for a key USL Pro matchup this evening. The Sacramento Republic FC right now currently with 29 points in the USL standings, sitting in fourth place, taking on the homestanding Richmond Kickers. I'm Mike Neville along with Mark Bushman, and I'll tell you, Mark, for a first-year program, the Sacramento Republic FC is doing very well, but we've got quite a race developing in the USL Pro standings.
Absolutely. Sacramento FC, being an expansion team, but they are in fourth place. They've actually played one game less than Richmond.
Right.
A win here tonight gets them even on points. They've looked very good. They have great support. I know they're having a viewing party tonight at De Vere's Irish Pub and the Field House out in Sacramento. So we want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching us tonight. And this is a good team coached by Preki,
right.
The MLS great and U.S. national team star. So there's a lot to be happy about with this Sacramento club.
Last time out, Sacramento posted a 2-1 victory over Orange County Blues. The game-winning goal came off the foot of Octavio Guzman as he got the game winner. And in the last 10 games, Sacramento is 5-4-1. 5 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. As I mentioned, this is the first ever meeting between the Richmond Kickers and Sacramento. Now, you talk about a team that's been on a roll, and a very quiet roll. It's been Richmond. The last time Richmond lost in league play was April the 12th on the road at Charlotte, and they right now have a 14-game unbeaten streak in USL Pro standings. They have 32 points. However, Mark, they have 8 draws. If they could have just squeezed out 1, 2, maybe even 3 wins, they'd have a lot more space as far as second place goes with the rest of the teams in the USL.
Yeah, they played Real Salt Lake's reserve squad last week, and they dominated pretty much in every facet of the game and still walked away with a 0-0 draw, so that's got to be a little frustrating for Coach Lee Calishaw and the boys as well. They've had a couple 0-0 draws, and they just seem to not have that killer instinct that they had last year, Mike,
right,
where they just kind of rolled through everybody. So they need to get that going. They've got Matthew Delicate back after taking some vacation last week, and they've got a couple of guys from DC United down here. Michael Seaton's going to make his first appearance for a while, so they've got to get out on the board early. I think if they get an early goal, maybe put Sacramento back on their heels a little bit, maybe the floodgates will open up a little bit and we'll see some offense.
Also nice to see Kyle Porter back, of course, from DC, and he's been a very huge factor for the Kickers. We're going to take a break, and we've got the national anthem coming up. We'll be back with you. We'll have the opening lineup. You're watching Richmond Kickers Soccer on YouTube.
Please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
And welcome back. City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. Mike Neville and Mark Bushman along with you, getting you ready for, as we mentioned earlier, a key USL Pro matchup between the visiting Sacramento Republic FC and the Richmond Kickers. And our officiating crew, the center referee this evening, is going to be Esteban Rosano. Also, the assistant referees are Clive Edwards, and I certainly hope I don't mess up this name, but the other assistant referee is Paul Sierra. See, I messed it. I told you I would do it.
I told you, Michael.
Yeah, I should have let you have that.
No, don't do that.
Go ahead.
No, I don't have it.
It's Sierra Metero.
There you go.
That was, I hope I apologize, but those are the referees for this evening. Our fourth official is Gary Gutierrez. So we are pleased that you're with us watching USL Pro Soccer as we get you ready for, as we mentioned, a very key game. And as we mentioned also, the Richmond Kickers with that unbeaten streak, but as mentioned, Sacramento's got some players.
Yeah, no, they absolutely do, Mike. Their starting lineup and goalkeeper is going to be Jake Gleason. Defender is going to be Mickey Daly, Emra Clementa, Nemanja Vukovic, George Fachive. In the midfield, they're going to have Rodrigo Lopez, who they really have to watch out for. Yeah. He's got 5 goals and 5 assists on the season. And what's interesting, by USL Pro rules, he's got 5 yellow cards. Normally he would be suspended tonight, but by USL Pro rules, he's actually going to have to sit the next game. So he's going to sit the Charlotte game on Monday instead of tonight. So you know he's going to get his 90 minutes, and Richmond's really going to have to watch out for him. Also in the midfield, they've got Ivan Mikirovic, there you go, Gilberto Souza, Tommy Thompson. And up front, they've got Justin Braun, who's a multi-year veteran with USL Pro, as well as Adam John, and they are coached by Preki. So this is a good Sacramento Republic FC team.
Lopez, 7th leading scorer in the USL Pro League. And he's been a very dangerous threat, as you mentioned, Mark, and you're going to keep an eye on him. Again, he is wearing number 8 for Sacramento. And as far as the Richmond Kickers go, once again, Joe Willis in goal, and he's had a solid season, Mark, because he is right now 2nd in goals against in the league. So he posted his 6th shutout in that scoreless draw with Real Salt Lake, the MLS reserves, last Saturday night here at City Stadium in Richmond. And we're underway with the opening kickoff, and the possession now belongs to Sacramento, as it's controlled now by number 23. That's Clementa, and now the ball is played near midfield. There's number 7 rolling it over. That is Souza. And now Sacramento still in possession near midfield. Very hot, humid night. We'll see how that plays as far as fatigue goes. Sacramento, of course, making the cross-country trip from California.
And then they play Charlotte Monday night. So. Yeah. Real quick, while we're doing this, Mike, let me go over Richmond's starting lineup. We got Joe Willis in goal. Defenders are Sasha Gares, Alex Lee, Connor Shinosky, and William Yombi. And midfield is Luke Vercoloni, Shea Spitz, Michael Seaton, as we mentioned earlier, and Samuel Asante. And up front, he's got George Davis IV and Kyle Porter. So there's a lot of offense. In this Richmond lineup tonight. So I'm going to be curious to see how much pressure they're able to put on Sacramento.
You're mentioning Sacramento with a couple of spots that folks are watching. My buddy in Phoenix, Matt, is also tuned in on YouTube watching our game. So I want to give a big shout out to him. And now the ball, here's an opportunity played on the far side. Here is Sacramento with the cross, and Willis punches it out. And now it's settled by Richmond. Good job by Joe Willis to read that cross and punch it away from from further damage.
And Adam John was sitting there waiting to get that. If Joe Willis doesn't get that, that's in the net already for Sacramento.
Sacramento coming out very inspired here, Mark, with a pretty good pressure early on the Kickers. And the ball is controlled now by Clementa. And now Yambi. Good to see him back in the starting lineup. Didn't play last week, of course. And now here's Sasha Gores. As Richmond, good ball there. As Vercoloni just touches it back to Yambi. And here's Shinosky. That's a very veteran-laden back line. Here's the ball by Lee, played ahead. Here's George Davis, that's Porter. He fought off a tackle attempt.
Yeah, we haven't seen Porter in a Richmond uniform for a while. There's a couple of DC United guys here, Shinosky and Porter, and again, Michael Seaton. Again, Michael Seaton is a guy we really need to start seeing some stuff from. He's not getting a whole lot of playing time at DC. I know he's getting a little frustrated with it, so here's a good opportunity to show he gets some minutes here in Richmond, get his shot with DC as well.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Porter, I think this is just his 5th game with the Kickers, but he's been a scoring machine a little bit, Mark, for the Kickers, and I believe he's got 3 assists in those 4 games. So he's been a very good distributor for Lee Collishaw when he plays. And, of course, that's been the situation. A lot of these D.C. guys have not spent a lot of time here in Richmond with the kickers. There's Richmond in possession now. Ball played here on the near side, settled by Shinosky. He's got some time and space to maneuver. Drops it off to Porter. Here's Porter avoiding one tackler. Nice job of shoveling that ball through for Seaton. Nice job of moving and still possessing. Still in possession. Oh, I thought that's a handball, and they do get it. Clementa is whistled for the handball.
Nice work from Seaton down there on the corner.
So a good opportunity here early for the kickers. Looks like Shea Spitz is going to tee this one up. Well, now he's got some company. And Sasha Gorez. This looks like this might be a perfect opportunity. He puts it down. It's a quick start. And that ball is going to go over the sideline for a throw-in.
I don't think they drew it up that way, Michael.
Well, Mark, we talked last week about those quick restarts. You and I are not big fans of those. I really think,
I'm a fan when they work.
Well, yeah.
They just never work.
Very, very rarely do they work. Ball played back to Willis in goal. And now Joe will send it over to Alex Lee. Good to see Alex Lee back. He's been battling an injury. Ball played forward. And now ball, nice job of touching the ball over. And here comes Sacramento on the run. Still with it inside the 18 box. And ball flicked on, but there's Vercoloni, and he gently plays it back to Joe Willis. And Willis bangs it out of trouble. And it'll be a throw-in for Sacramento. Just underway here at City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. No score. That was Tommy Thompson, by the way, a moment ago for Sacramento. Had a nice run going into the box. Ball swept back to Gleason in goal. He's getting some pressure. And it's going to be a throw-in for Richmond. By the way, congratulations to Joe Willis and Luke Vercoloni, Mark. Both were named to the USL Pro Team of the Week for Week 16. Both of them well-deserved, too.
Yep, both had a couple of big saves last week in that 0-0 draw with Real Salt Lake's reserves.
Still no Mike Callahan. He's been battling concussion issues, and, boy, we'd love to see Mike back, but he's such a spark plug for this team. But obviously safety comes first, and he's been really battling with some concussion issues. Here's an opportunity. Shot just wide. George Davis IV sent that ball in.
There's Shea Spitz.
Yeah.
Always seems to just kind of float under the radar. He shows up. It was a great ball from Davis. Wow, he must have missed that thing, but maybe 6 inches or so. That would have helped a lot.
Nice ball by George Davis IV, Mark, to just chip it over the defender, and Spitz ran on it and then pushed the left-footed shot just wide of the far side.
This is going to be an interesting matchup, Michael, because I'm looking at normally Richmond goes with Deli and Mighty Delicat and Jason Yeisley have been going up top, and they're both really big guys. This is a bit of a smaller lineup for Richmond, and they're going against the back line in Sacramento that's pretty big. They look to be about 6 feet to 6'2" along the back, so it's really going to be interesting to see how they match up physically against these guys.
Yeah, Yeisley and Delicat, big targets like you mentioned, but the front line that's starting tonight is not that big. Here's Samuel Asante playing it over to William Yambi. He'll touch it up to Gorez, and Gorez will give the pass right back to Yambi. He's got Alex Lee on the near side here waving for the ball. And here's Shinosky. Connor taking a look, looking for the big guy Seaton. He's certainly a big target. Here's the ball settled by George Davis IV, and he's kind of pushed off the ball looking for a call, and the referee says, nope, play on, and we will, and I think that's the correct call. Back to Gleason. And now Yambi will try to track it down for Richmond. You got to wonder what his physical ability is as far as how many minutes he can go, Mark, because, again, sat out last game, and you got to wonder what his fitness level is. I know he's probably a pretty good workout guy, but you still have to wonder, can he go the full 90?
Yeah, you got to figure Lee wouldn't put him out there unless he could.
Right, yeah.
So. And if not, if you got, you can bring in Henry Kalunja right off the bench.
Exactly.
They're another multi-year veteran of
what
yours.
What a luxury, huh?
We were looking at that, Mike, before the game, and we were looking at the substitutes for Richmond, and 4 or 5 of these guys I think would start on any USL Pro team. I really feel that way.
I agree with you.
They're getting Nate Robinson back. He's getting healthy. He's getting some more and more minutes. One of the top playmakers for the league last year.
Here's Gorez playing it over. Lee heads it to Asante. Asante looking, now flips it over to George Davis IV. He'll drop it back to Alex Lee. City Stadium, Richmond, Virginia. Glad you're along with us. USL Pro Soccer Action. Mike Neville and Mark Bushman along with you. We should have Ryan Hines back with us for our next telecast, hopefully. Miss Ryan. Want to give him a shout out?
It's a lot quieter in a booth without Ryan, isn't it? Good to have that player.
Yes, but I think the knowledge level drops a little bit.
Oh, IQ drops 50 points easy in this booth.
All right, possession now belongs to number 18. That's Mirkovic. There's a pass back to number 23, Clementa. Thompson flicked it over nicely, but I believe that was Rodriguez that couldn't handle it. Oh. Now we got a little, look out.
Well, that didn't take long to get started.
And now we got some pushing and shoving and a little get together. The whistle blew on the number 14 is not too happy. That is Adam John.
Yeah, I think what happened there is Richmond got the benefit of the foul, and then I believe Asante came in and clipped the Sacramento player, and then it just kind of turned into a melee here.
Justin Braun's holding onto the ball. Let's see if there was any plastic displayed. I don't believe.
Now, and it's going to be one of those things where the referee's really going to have to watch this because we're only 9 minutes into the game, and your temper's already flaring at something like that. So the referee's got to, got to get the captains together and say, get this together.
Right, yeah. There's a look at Adam John. He's being talked to. He came in late and made the push on Asante. Little Samuel Asante was a little outnumbered as far as the size goes.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I think it was just kind of an innocent play, Mark, where in the sense that, Asante thought the play was continuing. Maybe he didn't hear the whistle. Now, I could be obviously wrong.
Yeah, he came in a bit late. He did.
Yeah. And now the number 18, that is Mirkovic. He's not happy. So the kick, here it is again. There's the foul, and then there's the play by Asante, and here comes the push from Adam John. And then it just escalated into a little pushing match, but the official has got things under control, center referee, hopefully. Seaton flicks it on. Seaton challenging that 50-50 ball. Here's Asante battling. And a whistle and a foul against Seaton. Yeah, you're going to see some tight calling here by the official.
And you should.
Yep. That is Souza Jr., number 7, playing it back. Getting the restart going for Sacramento. There is Souza Jr. Rolling it over on the far side to number 21. That's Mickey Daly for Sacramento. No score here at City Stadium. Here's the ball played up to number 23. That's Clementa.
And Preki is unhappy with that. He didn't think the ball was all the way out. Didn't take long for Preki to get involved in the match.
Well, I tell you, this team certainly resembles Preki. If you remember Preki in the MLS, he was a feisty player, to say the least. That's one way of putting it, right?
Feist is the only word we can put on air.
That's right. Here's Gorez. Richmond in possession, and a foul has been whistled. I think that was it. Seaton that went. No, Seaton's over here. No, it's Kyle Porter. You see the center referee trying to get things under control here. Esteban Rosano.
And it wasn't a nasty foul or anything. It was a foul, so the referee's starting to give us verbals. Honestly, I'm going to tell you what, Mike. I think we'll see our first yellow card within the next 5 minutes.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
There's the bold prediction from Mr. Bushman.
And every once in a while, I'm right. Except for my World Cup picks.
Yeah, everybody. As soon as you posted that on Facebook, everybody went the other way.
That's
and
exactly right.
Picked up a lot of money because of that. What an entertaining World Cup it has been, though, huh?
Exactly right.
You were talking, and we were talking on the way down here, carpooling down here together, and it's just, it's been a wonderful tournament. And ball's headed up in the air. Gleason will handle that with no problem. We got Mike back with us. Mike, of course, a proud new dad of twins. We appreciate him coming back. He's our director. We've got Joey, Dave, and Tim once again on camera for you.
I think Mike just wanted to get out of the house for a little bit.
Ball at midfield for Sacramento. Ball played forward. And that is Souza playing it wide now. Trying to find an opening in the Richmond defense. Lopez playing it back. Richmond with some good high pressure, forcing Sacramento to retreat. There's the ball over on the near side. Clementa Good ball through. And here's Tommy Thompson. He finds Lopez. Good overlap here on the far side. Ball settled. Looking for some space, but again, well defended that time by Richmond. They held that up, not allowing the cross. Mickey Daly now plays it. Souza trying to slide one through, and he missed. And Lopez, it looked like Lopez making a indication that he wanted the ball up instead of on the ground. He wanted to get a chip maybe instead of the ball that went across the end line.
Yeah, that was good work from Sacramento, though. Probably like 10 or 11 passes strung together. Went from left to right, stretched out the Richmond defense a little bit. That was a good sequence from them.
And as Mark mentioned, Sacramento, tremendous support in California for the team. Ball 50-50 ball. Seaton got a flick on it, but unfortunately went right to. Here's Braun, Justin Braun with it. As you mentioned, Mark, I believe he's, I saw in the notes, over 11 seasons in MLS or playing soccer at the professional level. You love that veteran leadership there. There's the ball played over now to Vukovic. And Vukovic couldn't hook up with Clementa, so it'll be a throw in for Richmond. Here's Lee getting the pass back. Ball knocked away from him, though, that time by number 16, Tommy Thompson. Here's Thompson rolling one through. Here's a threat now. Here's Lopez. Good ball as he sent it through for, I believe, Thompson, but it was well defended that time by Yambi, and now Richmond trying to get the counter going. Here's George Davis, the fourth, off to Vercoloni. He'll play it here on the near side to Alex Lee. Lee near midfield takes a look. Off to Kyle Porter. No flag. Sacramento was looking for a flag for the ball going over the sideline, but now there's a flag up.
He was calling offside.
So
that was on Spitz, actually. Even though he didn't receive the ball, he interfered in the play.
Right.
And they're going to call that.
Sacramento now with it near midfield. Here's Braun. Trying to play it through, looking for a return pass. Good ball. Here's a shot, and that skipped wide. Good build-up that time from Sacramento.
Once again, that's the second or third time they've been able to do that, moving the ball quickly.
So now it'll be Joe Willis with the goal kick for the Kickers. I would say here, Mark, in the first little over 15 minutes, going on 16, that run of play, maybe Sacramento has the advantage. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Richmond had that one chance early that just missed wide from Spitz, but for the rest of the time, I think Sacramento's done a good job of holding possession, kind of stretching the Richmond defense out a little bit.
There's Lopez dropping it off, getting the return pass. He just flicks it back, and now Clementa playing it up to John, and now Lopez will play it all the way back to number 12, Vukovic.
It was a bad ball there.
Yeah.
Looked like his foot hit the ground when he went to strike it.
George Davis, the fourth, pushing it over. And here's Porter, Kyle Porter. Davis went down, no call. We play on. And here's Adam John. Asante forced him to pass it off, and now here's Lopez. Off to Souza. Souza at midfield. Off to Clementa. Gently taps it back to Lopez. Rodrigo Lopez. 7th leading scorer in the USL. And I'm sure Preki would like to see him get the ball on his foot as much as possible. Good job of keeping that ball in. Here's Clementa. Back to Souza. He's looking for an opening. And George Davis, the fourth.
They're on the break here.
Here's the ball play. Beautiful ball that time. Here's Spitz. Shea Spitz settling with the left foot. That deflected off a Sacramento player. And Spitz got it back. And Spitz went to the end line, and then it was knocked over the sideline. It'll be a throw-in for Richmond. Shea Spitz. He doesn't trust that right foot. He's even told us that in interviews. That here's Alex Lee. Good move by Lee, and down he goes. No call.
That was a legal shoulder charge.
Yeah, that was
good.
That didn't deserve a whistle. And back comes Sacramento. And here is Justin Braun. Braun running. got the ball back. Down he goes, and there's a foul. Easy call that time on, I believe, Alex Lee.
Yeah, Braun's been around for a long time. He's tormented Richmond on multiple occasions with other squads. So, and he's a big player.
Yeah,
Obviously, it sounds easy to say, but when you can get someone like him matched up against Alex Lee, number 18 for Richmond, who's very good on the flanks and a very good defender, but that's kind of a physical mismatch. So if I'm Sacramento, I'm looking to maybe if you're on the right side, maybe play that into the far post and try and get Braun in on some of those shots.
So here's an opportunity. You see Lopez and also Clementa near the ball. See the wall being posted by Richmond. And Lopez takes it, and it deflects off. Richmond will be a corner kick, I believe. Is this our first corner of the night, I believe?
I believe so. Sacramento's got some big bodies. They're coming up and on the set piece.
See if they go with the short corner. Lopez and Thompson. Tommy Thompson there, number 16. Richmond has got defenders out there. So here's Rodriguez. Oh, excuse me, Lopez. And he is going to do with the short corner to Thompson. Here's Thompson back for Lopez. Quickly touches it into the box, and Willis collects it on a bounce. A lot of times, Mark, they set up that short corner, and when it's well defended, they don't go with it. But that time, Sacramento decided to go with the short corner. Here's Asante playing it wide to Sasha Gorez. Gorez played it to the middle of the field. Here's Asante. The ball played back to Shinoski. Taking a look, trying the long ball, trying to hook up with Seaton. And Michael Seaton, I think he was trying to fake like he didn't know where the ball was. It's poked away from him, throw in. And here's Porter to throw it in. He's got Shea Spitz to his left. He goes to Seaton. Right back to Porter. Porter takes a look, and the cross into the box. It went off through Gleason's hands, and then he volleyballed it up to himself.
It was nice from Gleason.
Yeah. George Davis IV, that's where you want Yaisley or Deli because they're taller. They may have got a head on that and knocked it out of his hands, but give Gleason some credit.
Yep.
Wonder if he was a volleyball player in high school. He didn't panic on that one, did he, Mark? Here's Rodrigo Lopez. He's got a good run. Good ball distributed over here to Clementa on the short side. Oh, headed down and then cleared out at the last moment by Yambi. I'm not sure if that was Adam John or Braun that got a head on it. And now it results in a throw-in for Clementa. That was a good run by him. Into the box. Ball flicked to the middle, knocked away by Gorez. Lee Collishaw is off the Richmond bench. Here's Clementa again. And he gets it down. Boy, there's some big targets for Sacramento, including that guy right there who just got it, Braun. Here's the ball in the middle, and it's blocked. And here's Spitz, and he was taken down by Souza, and Souza's going to get I believe a verbal warning, or is he going to get the card? No, just a warning.
So much for my prediction.
Well, I applaud you for going out on a limb.
That's what I do. Now, Richmond needs to possess the ball a little bit here. They've only had a couple of passes, a couple of direct balls, but they need to get some possession, kind of try and make the Sacramento defense chase them a little bit.
And, Mark, they've actually been pretty successful, I think, this season in, possessing the ball and making other teams chase a little bit. But tonight it's kind of it's not there yet.
Now it is, when you have a guy like Deli and you have a guy like Yaisley up there who are good target forwards, they can hold the ball up a little bit. When you're going to some of the smaller guys that Richmond has, it's more of a counter quick kind of thing. And Sacramento's got some big boys up there, so they're able to hold the ball and move it around pretty well so far.
Here's Seaton to Braun. Lopez to Braun. And now Braun again with it. He's dangerous. Good ball. Gets a good job. This is a beautiful build-up here. Here's Thompson. And here's a shot, and that one would have been a field goal in football. American football, that is.
Yes.
That was a good build-up.
That was a great build-up. Once again from Sacramento. Get the ball down in the corner, center it back, hit the trailing player. No, I like what I see from Sacramento so far.
Mark, a lot of times when you're an expansion team, you're kind of intimidated in the league. Do you think maybe with Preki as the head coach, that helped Sacramento as far as being prepared and having a very successful season so far at 9-5-2?
Well, I think that's a good part of it, but also Preki obviously knows where he can find some talent as well. There's some guys on the Sacramento team that have, like I said, Justin Braun and a couple of those guys that have been around for a while, so you're bringing in leadership, and I think it's easier, honestly, Michael, when you have like the second and third division teams, I think it's easier to build a better team.
Yeah.
Easier because you don't have, like I said, necessarily the salary caps
Right.
like you do with MLS, and you're getting the hand-me-down kind of players. I think in USL Pro, when a lot of players are on 1- and 2-year contracts, you can bring them in. That's exactly what Sacramento's done, and you got that, and you got the great fan support there. No, it's a great franchise. I know USL is absolutely thrilled to have them in the league.
Here's Richmond trying to get a ball ahead to Seton. Spitz was trying to ward off number 18, Murkovic. Souza now getting the return pass near midfield for Sacramento. Sacramento's in the white uniforms, Richmond in their home red. And Shinowski flicks it back to Joe Willis. Here's a look at Kickaroo. Trying to get the crowd fired up. It's got to be warm in that outfit. Here's the ball played ahead. And Porter flicks it. And here's Alex Lee settling. Lee's got some space. Rolls a beautiful ball to Seton. Or excuse me, to Porter. Kyle Porter, nice. Into the box, and it's knocked away, but still in play. Good job by Sacramento to keep it in play. Here's Porter. He's going to keep it in play for Richmond. Looking for,
ball.
Yeah, it is. Here's Lee, and his cross attempt blocked. This will be Richmond's first corner kick opportunity.
Nice work there from Kyle
Yeah.
Porter. Really nice. Kept that alive a couple times. You thought it might be going out.
So it looks like Shea Spitz is going to take this corner kick. Not sure what the center referee is.
You got Yambi, Shinowski, Seton. Got a couple of good targets in there for Richmond.
Here's the short corner to Lee. Lee's cross attempt blocked away nicely and then flicked out of play. Quick restart here to Asante, Samuel Asante. He's trying to hook up. The group keeper's out, and nice job by Gleason. That ball just hung up enough that Gleason made the decision, and it was the correct decision because Yambi, I believe it was waiting to nudge that one into the back of the net.
Yeah, good judgment from Gleason there. The ball did hang just a little bit and gave him that extra second to get out there and snag it.
There's Rodrigo Lopez now for Sacramento. We're scoreless here in Richmond, City Stadium, home of the Kickers. So here's Lopez trying to play it through, but Lee settles, getting some pressure from Braun, but now gets it off to George Davis IV. George Davis IV being challenged by Souza. Here's Shinowski back to George Davis IV. Tried to sneak a pass through, but well defended by Sacramento, and here comes Lopez. And good ball here. Here's the cross, and it's headed away by Richmond. And was that Braun that was going to make a run on it?
He was sitting right there again. That's twice. Nice heads-up play. I believe it was Yambi that got a piece of that. Otherwise, again, Braun's got a wide-open opportunity in front of the net.
So a corner kick for Sacramento. Look at Rodrigo Lopez. Sacramento plays tonight, and then I think you said Monday they play Charlotte.
Play Monday night at Charlotte.
And yes, the Kickers later on in the season will be traveling to Sacramento, of course, to play.
I believe so.
There's a, ooh, boy, that one was flicked just wide. Goal kick for the Kickers. Hey fans, don't forget scores, stats, news, and more exclusively on USLProSoccer.com. Check it out today. So goal kick.
Mike, looking at the schedule, they don't play Sacramento.
Oh, they don't?
Nope, they play Orange County and they'll play Los Angeles. It's the little things.
Well, that's what I get for assuming, huh?
There you go. Well, it's also a good sign for the league that there's so many teams now that it's harder to do home-and-home series
Right.
with these guys. Again, it shows the growth of USL Pro, and they're adding a couple more teams next year. So I'm thinking that with so many teams on the East Coast, so many on the West Coast, I wouldn't be surprised. Nobody tells us anything.
Right.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they had two separate conferences next year or the year after.
I'll tell you, Orlando City is having their way in USL Pro with a sparkling. Down goes. Was that Thompson that went down, I believe? Tommy Thompson?
Yeah, he hit heads with Shea Spitz. He initiated the contact, and really it looked like he hit the back of Spitz's head.
As I mentioned, Orlando City cruising along, Mark, in the USL Pro standings, 13-0-3.
Yeah,
They've
they're pretty
got
good.
42 points, 10 points better than second place Richmond, and Richmond is in the midst of a 14-game league unbeaten streak.
Absolutely. Well, that's the difference between getting wins and getting draws.
Yeah, exactly. So here's Jambi with the restart. Again, looking for Seaton. And that ball is headed down to Clementa, and then Seaton knocked it out of play for Richmond.
The excitement down in Orlando City is fantastic. Just signing Kaká, the great Brazilian player. Looks like they're getting ready to sign Robinho as well. So really good, great support down there, and I'm thinking they'll do well in MLS.
Yeah, of course, that announcement was made, earlier this year that they were going to be joining the MLS?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst kept secret in the league.
You probably knew before anybody with your
Nobody tells me anything.
with your contacts.
I'm not a reporter anymore. Nobody tells me anything.
Here's Braun for Sacramento. Good ball on the far side. I believe that's number 24 for Chive. Good ball. Ooh, that was well defended. Boy, that was dangerous.
Once again, that was Braun making that run.
Yep. Here's Kyle Porter for Richmond. Keeping the ball moving. Lee quickly. I like this one touch. And here's Spitz. He avoids a tackle attempt, and then the foul is whistled against Souza.
I'll tell you one of the things I like about Spitz is that he does draw probably 4 or 5 fouls a game. He's already drawn 3 so far tonight.
Yeah, you make one misstep against him, and he'll get by you.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, like you say, Mark, it usually ends up being a foul drawn. Here's George Davis, the fourth, and that ball deflected off. Spitz was trying to make a move to the middle of the box. And back comes Sacramento. Asante trying to defend, and Adam John is upset, but he's going to get the benefit of the call. There's Lopez. Here's Clementa on the near side. Settles the ball.
Good switch of fields there.
Yeah. Good ball here. Here's Thompson. Thompson looking, drops it up. Beautiful ball. And a shot, and Joe Willis handles that. I think that shot came from Mirkovic. Boy, Sacramento has had some really nice passing combinations to get themselves free for some early shots. Here's Asante. Ball played ahead to George Davis, the fourth. Here's Seaton. Pushed once, but stays with it. Vercoloni touches it over to Garez. Sasha looking with the cross. And it's flicked away. Right to Alex Lee. Lee's looking for a cross. Now he'll dribble. Off to Porter. There's Vercoloni. Off to Porter. Porter takes a look. The goalie's kind of cheating to the far side. I thought maybe there's a cross, and Gleason climbs the ladder once again to snare that.
There's one of those Alex Lee crosses he's so good at, but he got it a little too close. It was inside the 6, and Gleason's going to get that 99 times out of 100.
We had a great camera angle, Mark, where it showed Gleason kind of cheating a little bit to the far side. I think Porter was thinking about maybe trying to get one to the near side. Here's a look at that last offensive flurry by, and there's the shot, and Willis perfectly positioned, could see it all the way.
And I was worried when it looked like he was going to strike that. I thought Willis might have been screened on that.
Right. So here's Souza back for Sacramento. Off to John. Adam John looking on the far side. Ball settled. Still in possession. And there's the foul. Yep. I think they're going to get number 24, Fujive.
And we are going to see our first yellow card of the evening.
So it looks like it's going to be shown to number 24.
And I believe that's going to be for persistent infringement. So it wasn't necessarily a nasty foul, but I do believe that's his third of the game.
Right. So Fujive with the yellow card, pardon me. And Gorez now will take the free kick for Richmond. No score. First half from City Stadium, Richmond, Virginia. Glad you're along with us, Mike Neville and Mark Bushman. See veteran Sasha Gorez. And he'll just play it back to William Yambi. Nope, I guess official wants another do-over. There's the whistle to start it up. And Sasha playing it to Asante. Samuel Asante off to Bercoloni. And here's Connor Shinosky to Lee. Richmond probing that Sacramento defense. Here's Spitz off to Lee. Spitz almost, and he did draw another foul. It's on Souza.
And there's another card coming out.
Wow.
That's for Souza. And I know Precky's unhappy with this because these seem to be harmless fouls. However, at the same time, like I said,
right.
Persistent infringement. When you commit your third foul, fourth foul of the game, and that's what he did. And that's his third foul. The referee is very specific in that. And they're supposed to do that. The officials are supposed to do that. Your second foul, they give you a verbal. Yep. Third or fourth foul, you've got to give them the card.
So here's Lee playing it back to Shinosky. Here's Jambi. Off to Gorez. And Spitz.
Not a good turnover there.
Yep. And here's Souza dancing with it. Off to Adam John. John being harassed by Asante. Asante got one push in, gets another push in.
That's just a physical mismatch
Yeah.
there. He's not going to knock Adam John off the ball.
Try as he might, and he did.
He was biting at his heels there.
Here's the ball played over to Souza. Now to Clementa. Back to Souza. Working their way near that 18-yard box.
It's a good ball. Good sequence there.
Here's Lopez. And Willis played that one perfectly.
It was really good work from Sacramento there. Lopez probably should have had a better chance on goal for that. That was, again, really nice work from Sacramento. They found a way to break down the center of that Richmond defense. And it's, if you're Lee Kalishaw, you got to be a little worried about that going into halftime here shortly, hoping you can get down, you can keep them off the board and then maybe make some adjustments at halftime.
Here's Porter. He's got the overlap from Lee. Here's Kyle Porter. He takes a shot, and that's well wide.
Don't think he planned that
that
way. It was got off his foot. He got a little excited, rocked back a little bit, but good move from Porter, though. I think the defender actually drew out and looked like he was going to go with Lee.
Yeah.
Porter made a good decision to cut inside, just didn't get what he wanted on the shot.
Yeah, I certainly don't have a problem with the decision to shoot that one because, like you said, the defender was cheating towards Lee. So here's Gleason with the goal kick. The goal kick from Gleason. And that ball is going to roll harmlessly to Joe Willis. So Willis ready with the kick. And now the ball settled by Lee. He'll play it back to Shinosky.
Great ball there.
There's the ball settled by Porter. Porter into the box, and it's knocked away. And let's see if Porter's going to let this one roll over. Nope, he's going to keep it in play. There's Kyle again working. He's got Lee. Now he plays it back to Alex Lee. And now they retreat with Shinosky. Well, unlike Sacramento, Mark Richmond cannot find that opening in the middle of the field when they're down by the box. Seton fell. And now here comes Sacramento again. Ball rolled off on the far side. Here's Lopez. Clementa will settle right in front of the Richmond bench. Drops it off to Souza. The ball played back. Vukovic. And there's a whistle. Oh, I thought there was a whistle. No whistle. The play continues. Here's Souza. Good defense that time from, I believe, Porter. Lee Collishaw once again off the bench. And the throw in. Here's Braun. Boy, he is a big target. He wanted a foul. Here's Spitz, and his pass went behind. Here's Lopez. There's Tommy Thompson. Back to Lopez. He's got a chance here. Cracks one from about 25 yards, and he is furious at himself. Didn't get that one on frame.
Well, now Lopez has had a couple of looks and hasn't really been able to get anything on these. But again, a turnover in midfield from Richmond and what we call the unforced error.
Yep. So here's Willis with the goal kick. No scores, City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. And fans, don't forget, visit the USL Pro fan page. It's located on Facebook at facebook.com/USL Pro. Foul was on Richmond.
It was on Shinosky. He was basically climbing over the back, I believe, of Braun.
Mirkovic plays it back now. And here's Lopez. Run here on the near side by Clementa. And Lopez had a overcooked that one. So throw in for Alex Lee and the Richmond Kickers. Winding down this first half, it's scoreless. Spitz took a push and will get the foul, much to the chagrin of Souza. Here's Alex Lee. And Shinosky will catch up with that one. Settle it. Oh, boy. A little misplay in the back by Yambi and Gorez.
That was just a mess from the start.
Yeah.
And there's a good opportunity for Sacramento.
Yeah.
Bring some of those big bodies in. Here comes Braun and John.
Clementa's there, number 23. He's a fairly decent target as well. Yambi, you see him rubbing his hand. I don't know if he jammed a finger or not. And Rodrigo Lopez will tee it up. I believe you said he had 5 assists coming into the night.
I think he's got 5 goals and 5 assists.
Yeah, I think you're right. And the kick is trying to hook up with Clementa, I believe. And
yeah, he's been a little bit off tonight.
Yeah.
Richmond, make sure to follow USL Pro on Twitter, use the @sign, and then USL Pro for all the latest league updates.
So goal kick for Joe Willis. As I mentioned, 6 shutout last week in that scoreless draw with Real Salt Lake. It's been very solid in goal for Richmond this season.
Free at youtube.com/RichmondKickers. That's YouTube.
And that kick, Clementa all by himself to win that one. Here's Braun. And Lee was able to take it away. Nope, Souza steps in front of Porter. Here's Souza fighting off a tackle attempt. Good ball to Tommy Thompson. Here's Thompson running at goal and knocked away by Shinosky.
Nice play from Shinosky.
Yeah, that was danger.
A lot of times the defenders want to go ahead and cheat it to the middle, and he did a good job anticipating where Thompson was going to go.
There's a throw in, quick restart. Ball off to Clementa with a shot that was blocked. And another throw in for Sacramento. Sacramento with some pressure here in the latter stages of this first half. Clemente with a throw in. They have such a size advantage, Mark, on the inside.
They really do.
Here's Clemente faking the cross. Now gets it to his left foot. And that ball is dangerous in the box. Willis made the shot, but we had a whistle.
Yeah, Braun got his hand up for that one.
He's not arguing, so. Boy, he is a tough player to handle, Justin Braun. And for a big guy, Mark, he's got tremendous skills with the feet.
Well, there's a reason he's been a professional
Yeah.
soccer player for 10 and 12 years.
Yeah.
You're doing something right.
Yeah. So here's Willis with a goal kick. Trying to hook up with Seaton. Here's Asante. Plays it back to Shinowski. Shinowski taking a look. Now to Yambi. No score here at City Stadium. The second and fourth place teams squaring off. Richmond in second in USL Pro standings. Sacramento sitting in fourth. And they're getting some pressure from Rochester. Rochester with a win last night. Now at 27 points, so they're sitting 2 points out of fourth.
And that's a Rochester team that came in here and
Yeah.
nearly stole 3 points from Richmond. Only a late equalizer from Richmond allowed them to get the draw there.
Here's Shinowski. Off to Vercoloni, back to Shinowski. And Asante, a near turnover. Asante's hustle kept that one alive. Oh, a nifty move there. Still on his feet. Here's Seaton. Michael Seaton's got some options. Goes to Lee, and Lee is whistled offsides.
That's just, unfortunately, that's just not paying attention to where
Yeah.
you are. And another yellow card for
Yeah.
Sacramento.
Was it Thompson
No.
or is it Adam John?
Number 18,
Oh, that's on,
Mirkovic.
yeah. There's Mirkovic. That's their third yellow card that they've been issued, Sacramento, tonight.
I'm going to think that maybe that was for dissent or something off the ball because he wasn't involved
Yeah,
in
he
the
wasn't
play
even.
at all.
Yeah, he wasn't even close to the play.
But what's frustrating is there's Michael Seaton made a really nice run, and
Yeah.
Alex Lee just wasn't paying attention and got careless and was offside there. It was a good opportunity for Richmond because they had 5 players forward
Yeah.
there. So that's one of those things you just, you can't really do that in a tight game like this. It
Yep.
could be the difference.
I believe they said 2 minutes of stoppage time has been added. Here's number 12, Vukovic. He gets the return pass. Here's Souza near midfield. Good ball on the far side. Played back now. And again, Souza. There's a little short passing game going on near midfield for Sacramento. Not sure if they're just kind of trying to wind this clock out for the first half, or they're not really looking very dangerous offensively.
No.
Still with it at midfield. Of course, just as you say that, they might. Ooh, Seaton almost got a foot on that. Here's Vukovic, and that ball is headed by Lee and kept in play by Sacramento, but there's the whistle to bring an end to the first half. Well, Sacramento, we thought they'd be a terrific matchup, and they have not let us down, Mark. They carried some play early in that first half and certainly held their own, and were scoreless here at the half.
I think Sacramento's had the run of play for most of this. I think they've looked really good. Have a couple opportunities on goal that maybe they should have done better with. But, I'm curious to see what kind of changes Lee Calishaw is going to make at halftime for Richmond, because they have not been able to hold the ball very well at all.
Right.
And they're going to need to do something, whether that's bringing the Deli or Yaisley, someone to hold the ball up top, maybe bringing in Nate Robinson, try and get some more flank play.
Right, exactly. All right, we are scoreless at the half. We're going to take a break. You're watching Richmond Kickers Soccer on YouTube. Stay with us. Welcome back to City Stadium. Hey fans, don't forget that you can still sign up for the 2014 series of Richmond Kickers youth soccer camps all summer long. The soccer camp is a great opportunity for boys and girls to develop their overall playing ability and their love of the sport. Campers will receive unparalleled coaching and instruction from the Kickers players, coaches, and staff in an enjoyable, friendly environment. Camps range from individual to team camps, as well as specialized training in finishing, goalkeeping, and more. Learn more about the camps and how to sign up by logging on to the team's website at www.richmondkickers.com. The broadcast of this match is authorized by the Richmond Kickers. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of any image, sound, account, or description without the express written permission of the club is strictly prohibited. Tonight's match was produced for the Kickers by Tourbeau Sports Group, the official video production company of the Richmond Kickers. At this time, we would like to take a brief moment to thank some of our major sponsors for the 2014 season. They include the main jersey sponsor, Health Diagnostic Laboratories Incorporated, as well as YOGG, the official club's marketing partner. To learn more about all sponsors for the Kickers, log on to the club's website at www.richmondkickers.com. We'd also like to thank the official apparel provider, Adidas, for sponsor of the Richmond Kickers. Be sure to grab your official Kickers merchandise online or right here on game days at City Stadium. And don't miss our next broadcast a week from tonight on Saturday, July 19th, the Charleston Battery in town. 7 o'clock kickoff here at City Stadium. You can watch it live right here on the official Richmond Kickers YouTube channel. We're scoreless at the break between Sacramento and Richmond. We're going to take a break, come back. We'll have some highlights for you from the first half. Get you ready for the second half of this evening's contest from City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. Stay with us. And welcome back, City Stadium, Richmond, Virginia. We're at the half, and it's a scoreless contest right now. Sacramento had some opportunities in the first half. Richmond had a couple of opportunities as well in that first half, but nobody could score. Here's a good opportunity from Sacramento. Tommy Thompson making a nice run, and then the layoff and the shot. Nice save by Joe Willis as he made that save on Mirkovic to keep this a scoreless contest here at City Stadium. And again, Sacramento had some opportunities. Richmond had a couple of opportunities, but really, I think the run of play probably went Sacramento's way as Willis had to come up with that save there, and a couple of other kind of dangerous opportunities on crosses from Sacramento. So Richmond has done a nice job of keeping Rodrigo Lopez, one of the top scorers for Sacramento, off the score sheet. Lopez had a couple of nice chances, Lopez did, but just couldn't get enough on it to get it past Joe Willis. And as I mentioned, Willis posting his 6th shutout a week ago in that scoreless draw with the Real Salt Lake, the MLS reserves. And that's where we're at right now, scoreless here at the break. And again, the Kickers, be interesting to see, as Mark mentioned going into the break, what Lee Collishaw, the head coach of Richmond, is going to do. Bring some size in with Deli, Matthew Delicott, and Jason Yeisley. It's a small lineup that he started, and as we mentioned throughout the first half, Sacramento good size up front and in the back as well. So they have been presenting some problems to the Richmond Kickers so far in the early going in this first half of this contest. And again, want to reiterate how important this game is, although, we're starting to get into the latter portion of the season, jockeying for position as far as possibly playoff scenarios, and the Richmond Kickers, 32 points. That's good for second place, just 1 point ahead of the LA Galaxy 2, and a mere 3 points ahead of Sacramento. Now, if Sacramento can come away with a victory tonight, they would then have 32 points as well, and so they would tie Richmond for second place. So you can see the importance of this contest tonight. And looks like, to be honest with you, Mark's back with me. I think Sacramento looks like the more aggressive team and really playing with a little bit more urgency than Richmond. Or, Mark, is it just the case that Richmond hasn't quite found a way to probe that Sacramento defense, in your opinion?
Well, thanks for holding the fort, first of all.
No problem.
It's a little hot up here, so I had to get us some water there. But
yeah.
No, I thought Sacramento had the run of play for the most part. Downstairs talking to a couple of the guys real quick, and yeah, pretty much everyone's in agreement that Richmond just hasn't been able to find that killer pass. Sacramento's had a couple of those, they just haven't done well with the opportunity. So I am curious. Lee Kalashaw's gonna have to make a couple changes to his roster in the second half, and we're gonna see how quickly he decides to do that.
And one thing that we also mentioned in that first half was the way Sacramento was able to probe the middle of that, just inside the box from about maybe 16 yards in. They were able to connect with a couple of nice give-and-go passes. It didn't result in goals, but it's got to be, as you mentioned, Mark, probably maybe a concern to head coach Lee Kalashaw because, like I say, they were able to find a little bit of openings in the middle of that lineup just inside the box.
Well, Shinosky and William Yombi did a good job of holding those guys up. Samuel Asante and Luke Vercoloni have been playing in more of the holding midfield roles, and Vercoloni does what Vercoloni does. He destroys things. He makes that killer outlet pass. Haven't think from Asante just yet. He's good in the offensive end. I haven't seen him doing as much. He hasn't had to. We haven't said his whole name a whole lot. But it does seem like, you're correct, Mike, it does seem like Sacramento seems to have a little bit more control of the center of the field. I'm, again, curious to see what kind of changes Lee's going to make. And one of the things that we also have to keep an eye on is there were 3 yellow cards that were distributed to Sacramento in that first half. As for Chive, Souza, and Mirkovic, each got yellow cards, so they're going to have to be a little cautious in the second half. I'm not sure how Precky's going to handle that. Now, we didn't get it at first, but Michael Seaton also received the booking very closely after Souza got his yellow card. Something happened. I believe it was dissent. They're working on that. But Michael Seaton did get a yellow card as well. So,
and is that the first yellow card that Richmond has gotten this season, do you think, here at home?
No, because Vercoloni has at least 1 or 2. Vercoloni's sitting on 4 yellow cards. So if he gets a 5th, then he's going to be suspended a game. But Richmond has not had very many yellow cards at all. I don't think they have a red card yet this year. So. Well,
I think the referee did a great job of kind of reeling this game in. We got a little chippy early, less than 10 minutes in. There was an Asante situation where the whistle blew. But I thought he did a great job, Mark, of reeling this back in, and players now concentrating on playing instead of doing the chippiness. Would you agree with that?
Well, there were 18 fouls in that first half, 12 from Sacramento and 6 from Richmond.
Well,
so
maybe
it wasn't. No. I mean, when you call that fouls, you're keeping it on the level a little bit.
Yep.
And you know what? And that's good. I actually think the more fouls is good for Sacramento because they're bigger than Richmond, as we discussed. Richmond, I think, is a little bit faster. So when you have that many fouls, you're slowing the game down, kind of making it more methodical. So I think that does kind of help Sacramento a little bit more than it helps Richmond. So, but like I said, the players just have to be a little bit more cautious in the second half. And Precky's got a pretty deep bench. He's got 6 or 7 guys that he can, 5 or 6 guys that he can bring in. So I'm sure we're going to see a couple of them, especially the fact that they have to play 48 hours from now down in Charlotte. So and in this heat, you're going to make that. So I think you're going to see several substitutions for Sacramento in the second half. But Michael, like I said, they've played very, very well. I'm very impressed with the Sacramento's team.
I am too. I'm very, very impressed with the way they've performed. We also mentioned in that first half about the World Cup. Of course, it is the championship, the final tomorrow. Argentina taking on Germany, and Germany has looked just about unbeatable after demolishing Brazil 7-1 to reach the final. Argentina with a victory. Also, of course, they beat the Netherlands to get to the final. But and Mark, I mentioned Mark and I coming down here talking about Germany. A lot of times when you see teams that dominant, you say, well, they can't do it again. But we've also said that you mentioned that Germany certainly is a team that could repeat that. Maybe not 7 goals, but could make this a laugher tomorrow.
Well, they're called a machine for a reason. They don't seem to show emotion or anything like that. So some people would say that you win 7-1 against the home country, you might have a bit of an emotional letdown. I don't think that's possible with the German team. It's such a tough one because you've got the best player in the world in Messi for Argentina, and then you've got Higuain, who has not had a great tournament but is still a threat. I don't know if Di Maria is going to be able to play.
Right.
Aguero's coming back from injury, so Argentina has some weapons offensively. I just think defensively, even though they haven't given up a whole lot of goals, they've not seen a machine like Germany is. And I tell you. It was said, Ian Dark from ESPN, he ripped this off from me, I swear, because I was saying this before. The first 3 weeks of the tournament, I said, this has been a great World Cup, but we haven't seen necessarily a great team.
Right.
And I think over the last week and a half to 2 weeks, a great team has emerged, and this is a really, really good German team that has some superstars on it.
Yep.
Nothing obviously like the Messi kind,
right.
But it just shows what a team is. A friend of mine posted something on his Facebook page, and it said, Portugal has Cristiano Ronaldo, Argentina has Messi, Holland has Robin, Germany has a team.
Right.
And that's what wins. And they have a deep team.
Yes.
So when you're in a tournament like this, where you're playing essentially, if you get to the final, you're playing 7 games in 31 days. You've got to have some guys you can bring off your bench, and I think that's what's really worked for Germany. Very, very, very impressive team.
And that's the other thing I was going to mention is that with Germany, you talk about Messi, but with Germany, they have so many different goal scorers, so many guys. You just can't really concentrate. I mean, you want to shut down Mueller. I mean, that's you do that, but then somebody else steps up and gets a goal or two. And
you've got the all-time leading goal scorer in the World Cup, and Miroslav Klose, who's he's a guy that he doesn't score a whole lot for his club. Scores a lot for his country.
Right.
Like you said, you got Mueller. You got somebody like a Mertesacker who starts in Arsenal and plays is a very good player. He's been stuck on the bench for Germany the last couple games because they've moved Philipp Lahm into the back again.
Yeah.
Schweinsteiger. I mean, there's so
the
many
list
guys.
goes on and on.
Sammy Khedira has played very, very well.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could name the entire starters and then the top 5 guys off the bench. So you got the best. I think probably the best goalkeeper in the world in Neuer. So. It's gonna be really, really tough. Now, if you're Brazil, though, first of all, you lost again today at home, so you're devastated by that. But you despise Argentina so much that you now have to root for the team that kicked your butt at home 4 days ago. I mean, absolutely humiliated you. If you're a Brazilian soccer fan right now, you are hating life so much, and that's gonna be an interesting program to see what happens there, Michael. I said because this is a Brazilian team that did not excite anybody.
Right.
It was so against how they play. They had a Joe, they had a Fred, they had forwards who couldn't score, who really weren't even creating a whole lot of things. So I think there's going to be some really interesting changes in Brazil over the next couple years. It should be very, very interesting. So, but overall it's been a really, really good tournament.
It's been a great tournament.
I thought the group stage was as good as any as I've ever seen.
Yeah.
When you get to the later rounds, you do have to deal with a little bit of fatigue, and so I think that's affected some of the games as well. But overall, man, I mean, every 4 years, it's my wife just understands that just. For a month, I don't really do a whole lot other than sit in front of the TV.
Yeah.
Fortunately, this week I was at the beach one of those weeks, so I was able to.
Exactly.
So she had something to do while I watched the game.
Well, I haven't seen the numbers. A lot of folks thought when the U.S. was eliminated that the viewership would die down. I haven't seen the numbers as far as the ratings go, if in fact that has been the case. But I can tell you from talking to people, and I still watch the games because I'm a sports fanatic, but I don't think it's wavered that much, to be honest with you.
No, the ratings are down a little bit, obviously. But I think what's really stuck with me is, I've had a lot of friends, that I've known since birth. And we've always had most of them have never been big soccer fans, so they're always giving me grief and back and forth. And what I've noticed this World Cup is a lot of my friends were texting me or Facebooking me or calling me and asking me certain things about the games.
Right.
And they weren't asking like in a mocking manner.
Right.
They're just like, okay, why is this happening? Why is this happening?
Right.
So they were watching. Now, does that mean they're going to come to every Richmond Kickers game or DC United game? No, it's not going to happen.
Yep.
But if they can go to a couple games, it's still going to gauge their interest. I think one of the things that also helps is if you look at the bigger picture, Mike, you've got a big tournament for the next couple of years. It's not just World Cup. Next year you have the Women's World Cup, where you know the U.S. is going to be one of the contenders, if not the favorite, so that should bring people in. The following year is going to be the Copa Centennial, which is a big tournament. It's going to feature all the South American teams and the main North American teams from CONCACAF. And that's going to be played here in the United States. So you're talking about Chicago, New York, D.C., Miami. All the big cities are going to – so that's going to generate a lot of excitement. Then you got the Confederations Cup the following year, which is like a dry run for the world. So there's a tournament every year for the next couple of years, big tournaments. So that's the thing. Maybe they'll start watching more MLS.
Right.
Maybe they'll come down to USL Pro. So there's my lecture on the thing, and I guess we're getting ready to start the second half now.
Yes, we are.
So if people are still watching, here we go.
I'm sure they are. So Sacramento will kick it off to start the second half. But you need those kind of tournaments to keep the momentum going from what you built with this year's World Cup.
And having a better U.S. men's national team is certainly a big part of that.
Right. So here's Sacramento in possession. Second half just underway here at City Stadium. Mike Neville and Mark Bushman along with you. Pleased that you're along with us.
Don't see any changes, Mike. I think they're both I think they have the same starting 11s as they started the game with.
Once again, I want to say hi to the Sacramento fans watching. Hope you're enjoying our coverage. Your team has performed very well in this first half here at City Stadium. Ball settled near midfield by Sacramento. Here's Souza. And now here's Lopez. Now it's Braun. He's got an overlap, and he finds, a good job that time. Boy, I thought that ball was going to get through, but Sasha Gorez, the veteran, was able to knock it away. Here's Souza. And pretty much these names, almost everybody's had a lot of touches. That ball's flicked down that time by number 24. And now Yambi playing it back to Willis. And now Sacramento. And there's a whistle and a foul on Shea Spitz. 24, by the way, for Sacramento is Fuchive. George Fuchive.
Spitz might have to watch himself a little bit. I believe that's his third foul, so I think he needs to kind of toe that fine line, or he's going to see yellow as well.
There's Sacramento. Here's Souza playing it on the far side. Getting the return pass. Souza seems to be a focal point of the attack from Sacramento. Here's Mickey Daly playing it back. Ball flicked ahead, but Sasha gets ahead on it. Now Vercoloni touches it back to Yambi. Some pressure from Braun. I think that pressure resulted in him having a kind of a miss kick that went right to Daly. And now some pressure from Richmond. So both teams, when the ball goes back to the goalkeeper, Mark, they're not making it easy on the keeper.
Yeah.
There's Shinosky. Maneuvers away from one. Plays it up on the far side. Here's Vercoloni with some time. Now to Asante. Asante avoids Souza. Here's George Davis the fourth. Good ball. Here's a cross. And again, Gleason. Boy, he's good with balls in the air, I'll tell you. He's very impressive.
That was a deceptive cross, too.
Yeah.
It looked like it was going out of bounds, and it kind of didn't. Obviously, Gleason read it well.
I think that was Alex Lee that had that cross.
Yep.
Here's Lopez. Good ball. Gets through. Here's Adam John. Adam John.
What a great tackle from William Yambi.
Yep. And
what
John,
a great tackle.
Well, no reaction from the Sacramento bench.
No,
so
that was
textbook.
You can't draw it up any better than that. That was great.
Here's Gorez to George Davis the fourth. Home crowd trying to get into it here, making some noise. And here's Shinosky. He's got some time and space to operate. Connor Shinosky. There's a look at the home crowd. Enjoying a hot night in Richmond, Virginia. Hoping their kickers can come away with a vital 3-point victory here tonight. So far, neither team has been able to penetrate the scoreboard. Good ball.
There you go. That's what they're looking for.
Here's George Davis the fourth. Stops, trying to maneuver around. Gets it to his right foot. Little heavy touch, but he got it to Spitz. And offsides. It's offsides.
It was offside. It was
No
a great
goal.
great ball from Spitz.
Yep.
Seaton was about a step. He was about a yard offside there.
Yep.
But that was good from George Davis the fourth when they knocked the ball in there.
Yep.
That's what they needed because, like I said, because of Richmond's size, it's harder to play balls over the top. So you play it through to Smith, who did well to get it back to Spitz. It was a good opportunity for Richmond.
And Seton finished, but unfortunately it was offsides.
Heck of a finish, too.
Yeah.
Full volley.
Yeah.
Of course, he also didn't have a defender in
Right.
his face, so.
There's Bercoloni, still in possession. And now it's settled by Sacramento on the far side. Tommy Thompson got a foot on it. Lopez heads it back to Souza. Rolls it over here to Fujive. Here's Lopez to Fujive into the box. Yambi got a foot on it. Here's Gorez and Asante.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's really nice. They're on the break here.
And Samuel Asante still going. Yep. Couldn't quite hook up with either Kyle Porter. I guess it was Kyle Porter he was trying to find.
Should have held that just a little bit longer. It was a really nice run out of the back from Samuel.
So possession now belongs to Sacramento. Whistle. And Richmond will get the free kick. There's that replay of the offsides. You can see the finish by there. It is again. Beautiful ball.
Yeah, it was.
Actually, it looks like he's closer onside with that replay, but I think he was offside, but maybe a little bit closer than we thought. There's George Davis IV on the near side. Nice ball to Spitz. Spitz now taking it, trying to get inside the box. Fakes the corner, fakes the cross, and he's tripped up.
Draws yet another foul.
Yep. That's Fuchive that fouled him.
Fachive is going to have nightmares of Spitz. He's fouled. I think all of Fachive's fouls have been against Spitz tonight.
So there's an opportunity mark just outside the box from Richmond, or for Richmond.
Now, what Richmond's done these first 5 minutes of the half is they have moved the ball a lot quicker. Like I said, they've played it through instead of rather over the top, and it's kind of created some openings for them.
George Davis IV off to Gorez. Sasha's cross into the box, and the ball's bouncing around and now finally cleared away by Sacramento. And I guess we had an offsides or some kind of.
I think it was.
It's like Shinaski's pleading his case.
Yeah. He kind of. It was actually a dangerous play on Chinaski. He put his head into the play. He shouldn't have done that. And we've got our first substitution of the match. Number 19, Octavio Guzman's coming in. Number 19.
He had the game winner in their last contest.
Yes, he did, and he's coming in for number 7, Gilberto Souza.
So Guzman.
Souza's had a very active night.
Yeah. So Octavio Guzman. And as I mentioned, had the game-winning goal in that 2-1 victory last time out for Sacramento over Orange County Blues. And a whistle. And Braun is whistled for a foul, much to his chagrin. There's Samuel Asante for Richmond. Here's Gorez. That's a great ball.
That is a great ball.
My goodness. Here's Alex Lee. Hey, fans, don't forget, make sure you follow at USL Pro on Twitter for all the latest updates from USL Pro. Ball played back to midfield now. Here's Shinaski. Off to Alex Lee. Lee trying to hook up with George Davis IV, but one of those big Sacramento bodies got in the way. There's Kyle Porter. It's a return pass. Porter is able to find, beautiful pass from Bercoloni to Porter. Kyle Porter drops it off, lays it off to Spitz. Spitz can't quite get the left foot cranked up. Wide open here on the near side is Sasha Gorez.
If you're Spitz, you've got to have a go right there.
Yeah. There's Spitz, another great ball through. And nudged just wide. Was that Bercoloni?
That's Bercoloni. Wow.
That didn't miss by much.
My money would have been on him to bury that. He doesn't have a whole lot of opportunities, but when he does, he usually converts them. Much better from Richmond so far this half.
Yeah, much better. But you're right, Mark. Spitz has got to get that right foot going, or He was just all tied up.
And Nate Robinson and Matthew Delicott are both warming up for Richmond. So I'm thinking we're in the 55th minute. I'm thinking we'll probably see them in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Although, Richmond, like I said, Richmond's had a very good half. The guys up front, they're doing what they need to do.
There's the Red Army out in force once again. They do a great job of supporting the kickers.
And we have part of the other fan club is right next to us in the booth.
Yeah.
People can probably hear them on occasion.
I was going to say, you probably heard them once or twice at least. Here's Gorez. Well, boy, Richmond is possessing much better in this second half, Mark. I don't know if maybe fatigue is setting a little bit for Sacramento, but
no, they're just playing quicker. They're playing 1 and 2 touch until now when I just said that. But they've done a really good job of moving the ball a lot quicker. I think they were a little slower in their delivery. And it's easier when you're a bigger team like Sacramento. You can't play balls over the top. You can't go route one direct. So Richmond's playing it through. They're using the flanks a little bit better. I like what they're doing.
There's Gleason. Yambi battling for that 50-50 ball, and it's won by Sacramento. Here's Lopez, Rodrigo Lopez, and Asante knocked it off his foot and then gives a little nudge saying, how you doing?
He's involved in a lot of those.
So it'll be Fuchive to throw it in. Got a couple, looks like a couple more, at least one Sacramento player warming up on the sideline. Boy, Braun and Yambi have been in a battle.
Yeah.
All night long. So here's Gorez off to Asante. Here's Bercoloni. Just sweeps it over to Shinaski. Here's Alex Lee. Making a long run. Here's Porter. And he couldn't quite settle it. And here's a bad giveaway. George Davis, the fourth. No foul.
That was a great play from Guzman to intercept that.
Ball played back now. Fujuve plays it back to Gleason. And
oh, Braun is not happy at all.
Braun is so frustrated, folks. Adam John giving some pressure. Ball now settled by Sacramento. And here's Asante for Richmond. Rolls it ahead to George Davis, the fourth. Here's Bercoloni. Good ball to Porter. Porter settles, and his cross attempt knocked away. I believe that was Vukovic knocked it away.
Carlos Martinez, number 20, is getting ready to come in for Sacramento.
There's the throw in for Porter, and that's taken away by Clementa. And here's Tommy Thompson on the run for Sacramento. And a whistle and a foul against Shinaski.
Brown finally gets a call.
Here's Lopez, the quick restart from Sacramento. Lopez playing it here on the near side. Fujuve trying to maneuver. Goes to Lopez. That was Daly swinging it over to number 18. Mirkovic. And now Sacramento threatening, but here comes Richmond now after the turnover. And here's Seaton. Let's see if he can. Oh, that was a good job that time by Fujive, number 24, Fujive. Smart play to knock it off of Seaton. Here's Daly. And now possession for Sacramento. Guzman plays it back. Played it back to Mirkovic. And now here's Guzman. Takes a look. Good ball here. Fujive. Quick into the middle, and that ball just missed hooking up with Braun. Here's Thompson settling. Off to Lopez. Sacramento now building something offensively. Mirkovic. All dropped off. Good stuff here from Sacramento. Ball played into the box, and Yambi heads that away. But right to Sacramento. Mirovic gets a return pass. Ball sailed over the head, and now Willis calls everybody off, says, "I've got it," and he does. Second half, City Stadium, Richmond, Virginia, USL Pro Soccer. Mike Neville and Mark Bushman along with you in this scoreless contest. Fujive knocks it out of play. That should allow Martinez to come in, correct? Carlos Martinez. No substitutions yet for Lee Collishaw, although
One's coming in just a second. Tommy Thompson's coming out. So that's going to be Carlos Martinez in for Tommy Thompson. And looks like Matthew Delicott is getting ready to come in as well.
Deli, of course, having a tremendous year for the Kickers with a team-high 10 goals, and I believe the last goal was the 100th of his career.
I believe so. Not a bad little career.
Not bad at all. Here's Seaton possessing. Quickly, two Sacramento players converge on him, and Guzman couldn't find Braun. Here's Bercoloni. Richmond trying to build. Nice ball off to Alex Lee now on the far side. Lee taking a look. He goes to Porter. Into the box, and Gleason. I thought that was a cross, but actually looked like a shot, and it almost snuck past Gleason, but he nudged it over the crossbar.
Not sure what Porter was trying to do, but whatever it was, it turned into something good. Good reaction from Gleason there.
Yeah.
Again, that's one of those things that looked kind of deceptive. Looked like it was maybe going as a cross, but not going out.
Kept sailing towards the crossbar.
Sure.
Yeah. So here's Spitz. I believe this might be the first corner kick of the second half for the Kickers. And Spitz sends it into the box, and it's headed away.
Shanowski almost got that.
Here's Davis chipping it. Michael Seaton will let that one go over the end line, and another corner kick for Richmond. Let's see who's going to take this one. I don't believe it's going to be Seaton. Looks like it's going to be Spitz again. There's a look at Shea.
Should be an in-swinger because they'll be going left.
Yep.
Just got to make sure you keep that outside the 6.
Spitz taking a look. Swings it in. Ball flicked on. Here's a shot attempt blocked. Here's Seaton settling. And it went over the end line. It'll be a goal kick. So Delicott getting ready to come in, and I believe Yeisley's also getting ready to report in.
Making a double switch, Mike. Bringing in some size there. That tells me that what they've been doing, I think what they've been doing going through feet has been pretty effective. But now you put those two in there. I'm guessing Garez and Alex Lee going to start looking to just send some balls into the middle, try and see if they can win some of those. That's a nice duo to come off the bench. A couple of guys who are 6'2", 6'3".
Not bad at all. There's Gleason with the goal kick. Ball settled by Porter. Lost possession, though. And here's Braun. Rolls it off on the far side. Here's Lopez. Oh, great ball. Into the box. And it's flicked on and in. It went off a kicker, and then I think it's Adam John that finished it.
Yep. Nice play from Sacramento.
And I believe that was Lopez that got himself free. And Sacramento has a 1-0 lead. In the 64th minute.
Yep, not a whole lot Joe Willis could do about that. There was somebody sitting while he was sitting there all alone at the far post. That deflection really, I guess, kind of threw everybody off a little bit. Nice, just simple tap in really for John.
So Michael Seaton's coming out, and I believe Deli's going to take his spot.
And Shea Spitz is coming out as well. Spitz having a good game.
Yep. So Matthew Delicott and Jason Yeisley reporting in. Yeisley. So So let's see how Richmond responds. Mark down 1-0 now. Here's Lee. Off to Porter. Asante to Vercoloni. Here's Yambi getting some pressure. Rolls it off to Garez. He flicks it ahead. George Davis the fourth. Here's Yaisley. And Yaisley had it taken away. Here's Guzman. And here's an opportunity for Sacramento. Good ball to John. He's pushed down by Yambi, no call. And Braun couldn't keep it alive.
Tough play from Yambi there.
Adam John is
not happy with that.
No.
I have seen that called. I have also not seen that called. So.
And tonight you did not see it called.
Not see the call.
In the 65th minute.
Call me Captain Obvious.
Yeah. Here's Willis. Off to Lee.
Preki was unhappy because he's up off the bench. Very unhappy with that no call.
Oh, here's an opportunity.
Deli.
Delicott is on. Takes a shot and scores! Matthew Delicott!
How about that for your first touch? Oh, and Preki is absolutely furious that there wasn't the call down the penalty down here, and Richmond comes right down and scores. How many times have we seen that from Richmond, though? They give up a goal, and then within 1 to 2 minutes, they've scored. And the confetti cannon is next to us.
Matthew Delicott was able to get behind the defense. I don't know how you let a guy that size get behind you. That's his team-leading 11th goal of the season. I'm not sure who got the ball up to him. Was it Vercoloni?
I believe it was Vercoloni.
Here it is.
The guy's fired off the confetti cannon.
It's actually Samuel. Oh, there's the flick by
Yaisley.
Yeah, like Yaisley. And look at the finish here, Mark. How about the patience?
I'll tell you, man.
Beautiful.
That's a veteran right there. It's a veteran play. Crowd's back into it now. Got the smoke bomb going off with the Red Army. And like I said, we had the confetti cannon from the guys next to us. So.
And here they come again. That cross is knocked away. Ball flicked down and settled by Sasha Gorez. He'll get the return passes. Gorez just wide. Good little give and go that time. I think that was Deli and Sasha that worked on that one.
Again, the veterans that have been here forever almost hooked up. It seems like Richmond plays with more of a sense of urgency when they're down.
Yep. I agree.
Boy, that was a calm finish from Deli because it took controlling a ball like that.
Yeah.
That's bouncing like that. And Deli does not have world-class speed. He'll be the
right.
first to tell you. We've had him on a few times. Really good composure there. But again, that's what a veteran striker does.
So back comes Sacramento, but right to Shanaski. He lost it though. Here's Braun making a run. Braun into the middle. Oh, he got his pass went right back to him. Very fortunate with that. Here's Lopez. And he tried to hook up, I think, with Martinez, and it skidded by and it just over the end line.
And
that was unlucky for Connor Shanaski. He made the defensive play, but the ball went right back to Braun for keep that offensive threat alive. 1-1 tie. Matthew Delicott with his team-leading 11th goal. And certainly brightened the spirits of the home side. Here's Yaisley trying to run onto one. Ujive was able to control that.
Well, what you're seeing now from Richmond is a deep ball from. Wait, just 1 second. See how they do here.
Here's Adam John running.
That's a very good ball.
Yep. Here's Lopez. Boy, they collapsed on him nicely, though.
Sure did. He's the guy you want with the ball on his foot, and he had it. Good job from Richmond there.
Good ball tapped through by Guzman. He tried to tap it through to Martinez. And here comes Asante. Spins away from one try. Oh, and that's a hard takedown from Guzman. And boy, they've got the Sacramento side fired up. Preki's up. Everybody's yelling.
That is a pretty nasty foul there from Martinez. And that'll be a yellow card. Whoa, that was a really rough foul. He was really agitated.
Yep.
I think he thought the foul he and Vercoloni were going after each other.
Yeah, it's on Guzman. Octavio Guzman. See Braun pleading his case. He's been upset all night.
Yeah, it's my mistake. I believe I said Martinez, but
Yeah.
no, that was
Guzman. Yep.
Thank you for correcting me.
Octavio Guzman.
That's why you're here. But no, that was a really
that was a
really nasty foul.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
So here's Jambi. Ball flicked on, and Gleason handles that. 1-1 tie. City Stadium has come alive here with the kickers tying things up. The ball played. Braun plays it wide, and Fujive, nice job of keeping that alive. And he's going to get a throw out of it, too. Throw in for Sacramento.
Yeah, Fujive's had a very good night, I think, on both ends.
Yeah.
He's done well. He's gotten into the attack and broken up some things as well. I think Fujive's played very well tonight.
Ball played over on the far side for Sacramento. Here's Guzman. But George Davis IV stepped in front of that. Good tackle that time.
Vercoloni.
Yep, here's George Davis IV on the near side.
He's got Yaisley at the far if he sees him.
And he got it over to him as he settles. Couldn't quite get anything on it, though. The ball, his first touch eluded him. Did a nice job of chesting it down. It just squirmed away from his foot, though. Couldn't get anything on it.
We have an injured Sacramento player. That was a result of the tackle from Vercoloni. Totally clean tackle.
Yep.
Just when you have a hard crunching one like that, it's not uncommon for one person to walk away and the other not to.
Hey, folks, don't forget Nike is a proud sponsor of USL Pro, and you can follow all season long at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike soccer information. Not sure who the the Sacramento player is down. One tie here at City Stadium. Again, the importance of this contest. Sacramento 3 points behind Richmond for second place in the USL Pro standings.
I'll tell you what, I think Sacramento could use the break, to be honest with you. They've kind of been, Richmond's done a good job of getting them running these last 10, 15 minutes.
I still don't have a number on the player who's down for Sacramento. Is it Fujive?
You know, I think it is. I'm looking around. I don't see him. And number 5, Chad Barhome.
Yeah, Chad Bartlome, right?
I can't read Precky's writing.
Yes, it's Bartlome.
Yes, we do. Sometimes we have to read.
I tell you,
we have to read what the coaches write. And let me tell you, these coaches have the same. They look like doctors.
Yep, that's exactly what I was going to say. They should have been doctors.
It's just we struggle sometimes, folks. If you could see these things.
Yep, it is Fujive who's down. Yeah. And he's up, getting a nice hand. Here it is again. There's the goal. Here's the goal from Medeli. Beautiful flick that time by Yaisley. And Mark, like you say, the control here, just good patience. Made the keeper commit and just knocked it by him.
Yep.
I don't know if you'd want anybody else taking that than him, if you're Richmond.
I don't. In the league.
Yeah.
Almost in USL Pro, to be honest with you. I mean, you know what you're going to get. It was great timing. I think some of the Sacramento guys thought he was offside, but that was just a perfectly timed flick and run from Yaisley to Deli.
By the way, that goal, as I mentioned, that's the 11th on the season. That ties Kevin Molino for Orlando City for second in the league in scoring. Aaron Schoenfeld of Dayton has the lead with 12 goals. So Deli's knocking on the league goal scoring chart as far as being the number one scorer.
Now we had a substitution for Sacramento. Fujive actually did come out. I don't see who came in, though. I'll get that for you as soon as we can, folks.
Was it Bartlome, number 5?
It was. The guy who I couldn't pronounce.
Right.
It is not amateur hour, folks. We're just a little tired.
So here is the throw in. And that first touch eluded Braun. And now the ball played back to Willis. Deli got a flick on it, and Yeisley went down. No call, but George Davis IV is going to follow it up for Richmond. Yeisley quickly got to his feet. And Davis IV is drawing some attention. Now it's Vercoloni touching it over to Goraz. Back to Vercoloni, now back to Yambi. Mark, a lot of fans get upset if you can just explain what happened there, because they were on the attack and now they had to retreat a little bit. And a lot of fans think, why can't you keep going forward? But it does kind of explain to the soccer now, the person who's not really familiar with soccer, you're trying to rebuild your offense when you do that, correct?
Yeah, when Davis had the ball there was only one other person in the vicinity, and that was Deli. But there were 5 or 6 Sacramento guys back. So it's kind of silly to do that, to try and force the issue. So basically, you just hit the reset button.
Right.
And you start over again. Yep. And that's what Davis did. Now, your instinct wants you as a player, you got to go. But it's it's a lot of composure in order to do that.
And, of course, your instinct as a fan is saying, what are you doing going back? Put it in first. Put it forward.
But at times, like I said, we're in the 76th minute. It's very hot out.
Yep.
The players are a little tired. So when you're at this stage of the game, if you've got the ball, you want to possess it for a little bit, knock it around a little bit, and get that other team running. And that's exactly what Richmond did there. They've done a lot better job of that this half than they did this first half.
Yeah. Here's Martinez dropping it back now. Gets the return pass from Clementa. It's Rodrigo Lopez to Clementa. And a throw in for Sacramento. Well, Lee's made two substitutions, right, on the Richmond side. We can see what happens the rest of the way. Ball into the middle, and that one is Clementa settling. Hey, folks, don't forget, every USL Pro regular season and playoff game will stream live on YouTube in the 2014 season. Features include DVR, chat, and social media interactivity. Subscribe for free to the Richmond Kickers YouTube channel today.
Here's a good opportunity for Sacramento on the corner to bring in some of those big bodies again.
It'll be Rodrigo Lopez taking this corner. Lopez hits it, and that one is headed just well wide, actually. Is it going to be another corner kick? Did that go on? It did, okay.
It did. I think Yambi got ahead on that. He was looking at Braun on the near post there.
So Lopez will give it a go again. Into the box, headed down. Here's a shot. And that one went wide. I'm not sure who got the left-footed shot. Was it Bartolome?
Yep.
Goal kick for Joe Willis. Mark loves having remote controls.
Well, we have an AC in the press box. People don't understand how important that has been.
That's right. Yeah, you're all correct.
After 15 years of no AC in the press box, we got a new toy, Mike.
Now we just got to get an elevator.
Just one of those stair lift things.
Here's Vercoloni touching it back. Gets the return pass. Good ball off. Quickly played. And here's George Davis IV. Is he going to catch up to it? He will. George Davis IV going to the end line with the cross. Oh, what a shot! And a great goal!
Holy
Matthew Delicott.
Again!
He is just unbelievable. I didn't think there was a prayer that he could get to that.
I don't think anybody thought there was a prayer he could get to that.
What a season he is having, folks.
Absolutely. He is King Midas right now. Everything he touches goes in the net.
That's it. What an unbelievable finish for Matthew Delicott to give Richmond a 2-1 advantage.
Wow, that was
in the 78th minute.
I'll tell you what, I thought George Davis IV held the ball a little bit too long, tried to cut inside. It looked like the defender had him covered, and he was able to get to the end line. And, I can't wait to see the replay of that one. That was amazing. Gleason had no chance to react on that. Matthew Delicott had about a 2-foot window, and he got it.
Yep. As I mentioned, his not only team leading, but right now, unofficially, he's tied for the league standings as far as goals go. Well, now Richmond's got to regroup here and to make sure they can keep the pressure on. Here's George Davis IV. He lost the possession to Lopez. Lopez trying to hook up with Martinez. Here's Vercoloni heading it. And here comes Kyle Porter. Porter rolls it off. Nice ball to Lee.
Deli's looking for it.
Alex Lee. Good ball to Porter. Porter turning, shooting, and Gleason is able to handle that with no problem. Here it is, Mark. The replay.
Yeah, I thought he'd maybe held the ball too long there.
Look at Deli at the top. Look at the run he's made. Look at that.
Wow.
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 Beautiful job. Great job by our camera crew. Mike, of course, directing us. Tremendous job all around. And a great finish for Matthew Delicott. So here's Sacramento. Now they're looking for the equalizer. Now, Guzman's not going to get that call. What a difference Delicott and Yeisley have made since entering the contest. Here's Martinez playing it back now. Midfield, Sacramento with possession. And Gorez, almost lost possession. And here's Lopez, Rodrigo Lopez. And his pass read beautifully that time.
Richmond's on the break again.
That was a great read that time. I believe it was Alex Lee. Here's Kyle Porter back for the kickers.
Deli is wide open on the far post again.
They would love to get another one. Here's Lee. He got to it, and the ball's knocked away and out of play. It'll be a corner kick.
It's not a great ball from Kyle Porter, and he knows it.
A little bit too heavy with the pass.
A little too heavy there, and if Lee can hit that in stride, Deli was alone at the far post there.
I believe Harrison Delbridge, it looks like number 22, has entered the contest. He snuck in somehow. I don't know how we missed him, but he's in. That's the one who knocked the ball out of play for Sacramento. So here's George Davis, the fourth. He's going to take his time getting to that ball.
Yep, coming 82nd minute, so Richmond's going to start bleeding this clock a little bit.
And a whistle. There's some pushing and shoving in the box.
It's pushing and shoving every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think for
kind of like the
game,
NFL. There's holding on every play.
That's right.
There's George Davis, the fourth, with the corner up in the air, headed away, flicked on that time, settled by Asante. Good ball to George Davis, the fourth. He hits it, and Yambi kept it in play, and Gleason is able to come up with it.
Good effort from Yambi to keep that alive.
Look at him hustle back to get in his defensive position, Mark. Boy, he's such a leader on that team.
He can run all day.
Yep. There's the ball played wide on the far side. Braun. Good job by Sam. You know, he doesn't get enough credit for the play. He plays a quiet game, but boy, he is pretty much positioned well.
Absolutely.
Here's Gorez. Ooh.
If you don't hear the name of your holding midfielder a whole lot, that's usually a good thing.
Right. Here's Porter. Porter's made a difference tonight too for Richmond.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's Alex Lee. Lee still going. Inside the box, still going. Gets a shot. Gleason was able to nudge that one away. Good run by Alex Lee.
Great run from Lee coming out of the back. Boy, he's had a really good second half.
It was almost like, nobody going to stop me? Okay, I'll just keep going.
No, nobody from Sacramento stepped up to stop him until he was at the 18.
Corner kick, and now I think we have another substitution.
Number 10, Tommy Stewart's coming in.
I think he's coming in for Braun, Justin Braun. Yep.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So Justin Braun. Here's the short corner. Here's George Davis, the fourth. And down he went, no call.
Just not a fan of short corners, Mike.
Yeah,
you know
I'm
that.
not, yeah. Here's Stewart, just came in. Fights off one tackle attempt. Thomas Stewart. Ball played over on the wide side. Ball settled here by Lopez. Puts it into the box. Yambi gets a head on it. And George Davis, the fourth. Beautiful ball to Asante. Here's Samuel Asante.
It's a great tackle there.
Had his pocket picked that time by number 12, Vukovic. Into the box. Here's Vercoloni. He's kind of in trouble now. He finds a teammate. And Davis, the fourth, plays it back to Gorez. Right back to George Davis, the fourth. Good composure there. And Davis, the fourth, flirting with that sideline.
Really nice from Davis.
Yeisley gets a foot on it to Asante. Here's Vercoloni.
Really, really nice, calm, and composed from the kickers on that sequence. Looked like they were pinned in a couple of times, able to get the ball out. Very nicely done.
Lee played it back. That ball is played towards the Sacramento goal. That's Delbridge, number 22, getting it ahead. Here comes Sacramento. Stewart. Ball played back near midfield now. Mirkovich played it over, number 18. And now they find Daly. Here's Daly directing traffic. Here's Guzman. Octavio Guzman puts it into the box. Settled down by Stewart. Stewart trying to crank it up. Good pressure that time by Vercoloni. And a whistle and a foul. I think it's going to be on Mirkovich.
Kind of surprised that wasn't a yellow card.
Yeah.
It looked like a kind of cynical foul.
I think he caught Luke right on the top of the foot.
Yeah, it looked like it.
See Luke's walking it off.
Yeah, Luke is not someone that embellishes
No.
fouls either.
No. Here's Jambi. Again playing it long for Yeisley. He flicks it towards the goal. Daly was hoping that would hop over the defender's head, but it didn't. Here's Daly for Sacramento. Here's Lopez. Rodrigo Lopez got some room and space. Still dribbling. Rolls it ahead. Off to Stewart. Tommy Stewart. Ooh, nice move. Stewart inside the box. Stewart still going. Finally had his path cut off. Gets it into the middle. Look at Gorez just calmly say, I got it. Well, I thought he held that ball a little bit too long, but he got away with it.
Did well.
Here's Yeisley trying to track it down. Sliding tackle that time, and it rolls over the sideline. It'll be a throw-in for Sacramento.
Now going back, that was a really nice play from Tommy Stewart. Made it run through a couple of guys.
Yeah.
Able to fight through a foul.
Almost looked like that run Alex Lee had a moment ago for
Yep.
Richmond.
Yep.
Unfortunately for Stewart, his path got blocked by Shinosky. And then Gorez, I just love the patience of Gorez. Nobody around him, he knew it. Here comes Lopez. Lopez has played well. He's had a lot of touches tonight. Just hadn't been able to finish his goal scoring opportunities. He's had a couple of them. And here is Bartolome, and that ball deflects to Joe Willis. That's the 87th minute we're in, unofficially. Here's Willis with the punt. Here's Deli. He has both goals the kickers have scored tonight. Here's Lopez. Taking a look. Gets it off.
I think he's only had like 4 or 5 touches.
Yeah.
He's got 2 goals.
I like his percentage.
Yeah.
Here's Stewart. He's been active since he's entered the contest.
Stewart played very well.
It's a cross, and that goes off of Alex Lee and out of play to be a corner kick for Sacramento. It'll be Lopez taking the corner. See number 23, Clementa, moving up. He hasn't been as active as he was in the first half.
Wearing down a little bit, I believe.
Yeah. So here's Lopez with the corner. And Joe Willis. Had a couple of players go down. Or at least a Sacramento player went down. That was Stewart. He got tied up with a Richmond player. I'm not sure who he got tied up with, but they've separated and everything's fine.
Got a couple other.
Nothing to see here.
Couple of defenders coming in for Richmond, Shane Johnson and Henry Kalungi. Again, must be nice to bring those guys off the bench. Kalungi, national team player for Uganda.
Yeah, yeah.
He's logged some air miles over the years, let me tell you. Because it's not easy getting to Uganda from Richmond.
That's right. He's coming in for Sasha Gorez.
Shane Johnson with number 23, Sasha Garez.
Shane Johnson for Sasha Gorez. I tell you, Chaucer's had a pretty solid season for Richmond. He's kind of found the fountain of youth like Delicott.
Yep.
Number 25, Henry Kalungi.
See who Kalungi's coming in for. Wonder if he's coming in for Yambi.
I don't think so.
Although Yambi looks very fit. It looks like Kyle Porter. Yep.
Yeah, there's your defensive substitution there.
I thought Porter played really well again. Every time he's been here at Richmond, we've seen him, he's played well.
Yeah, he's been up with DC. He's on loan from DC
Yep.
United. He's been with them for a lot of the time. This is actually only Porter's 5th game, I believe, with the team. So, yeah, anytime Richmond can get him, I think they're pretty happy about that.
I know they'd love to have Colin Martin back down here because he was having a heck of an early portion of the season for Richmond.
Not sure how much you're going to see him down here. He's playing very, very well.
Yeah. DC United's playing very, very well.
You know?
What? What a turnaround.
They beat San Jose last night. They're in first place. And
here's Bercoloni. And now Sacramento will try to get the counter going. Here's Guzman. Is that supermoon or what do they call it?
Supermoon.
I don't know. I saw something posted about the moon. Is that the Neil Armstrong
moon? I'm not even
moon?
going to say anything. We're getting into stoppage time.
That's the Neil Armstrong moon.
Supermoon.
Isn't it? There's something it's called. Let's see.
I have no idea.
I thought that's what it's called. All right. Check Facebook, folks. Everybody's posting something about that moon.
Hashtag supermoon.
So here's Willis with the goal kick.
Stoppage time, I'm thinking we're looking at least 3, maybe 4 minutes.
It's like 4. Yep. Wow.
Long time.
Yep.
Kick. Richmond killed. Sign of a good team is being able to kill off the clock.
Here's Kalunji battling Guzman. Here comes Stewart. Tommy Stewart trying to crank one up now. Drops it off. Martinez. Here's Mirkovic. Off to Lopez. Blocked his crossing attempt. Nice job by George Davis IV. Lopez now tracks it down. Daly swings it over to Mirkovic. Possession for Sacramento. Down 2-1, and Daly read that pass, and here's Samuel Asante.
Yeah, just take that down to the corner.
Yep. Asante still in possession. Gets around his defender. There's Asante. Now he's going to take it to goal. Well, he was thinking about it, but he overran it.
Couldn't decide if he wanted to take it to the corner or go. So
right.
Did neither. Just kind of overstepped the ball a little bit, but nice.
Probably would have liked to see him take it to the corner, but still, you get a scoring opportunity. You don't want to.
Absolutely. And Daly was running down the middle again.
That's probably the toughest spot for him to be in, Mark, was to decide, like you said, do I take it to the corner and waste more time, or do I try to get a third goal to sock this thing away? And I think he was in between decisions and eventually overran it. Here's Lopez. He finds his mark. Here's Bartolome now off. Clementa, and his cross knocked away and out of play.
Because Bartolome was sitting right there, waiting for that.
Clementa to throw it in for Sacramento. Long throw in. Bercoloni gets a head on it, and then Daly just clears it towards the goal and makes a run after it. And Delbridge heads it back to his goalkeeper, Gleason. Here's Daly. Daly in pursuit. Here's Lopez. No, good ball. Here's Stewart. Tommy Stewart stopping and going. Lofts it into the middle, over the head of Martinez.
Sacramento with some good pressure here.
Here's Guzman, and his scoring attempt goes over the crossbar. So Willis with the goal kick. 2-1. Matthew Delicott came off the bench and banged home 2 goals about 2 minutes after Sacramento had went up 1-0 on a goal from Adam John. Daly answered not once but twice. And Geisley whistled for a foul. And that's Mirkovic is not happy with that. Preki is sitting on the bench, the head coach for Sacramento.
No, he's not happy.
So here's Lopez. Avoids a tackle attempt. Ball headed by Shinaski. And that'll kill some more time. Mirkovic will run it down.
That's just about it.
Yeah.
That is it.
A well-earned victory for the Richmond Kickers tonight, folks. So a big 3 points for Richmond. as they improved to 9-1-8 on the season with a 2-1 victory, and now they have 35 points with the 3 points. Boy, oh boy, what an important.
Well, Richmond needed that. They haven't played great at home recently, but they came alive after they gave up the goal. And to be honest with you, if you're Sacramento, you got to be really disappointed because you got the lead.
Yep.
You had a very, very good first half. You got the lead, and then you just kind of got distracted in about 10 minutes, and that's all Richmond and specifically Matthew Delicott needed in order to get the 2 goals and the 3 points.
So a big 3 points for Richmond. As I mentioned, they improved to 9-1-8 on the season. Now they're 5-0-4 at home. So we're going to take a break, and we'll come back and try to get you some highlights and wrap things up from City Stadium in Richmond. You are watching Richmond Kickers Soccer on YouTube. Stay with us. And the moon, there it is, the super moon. Mike Neville, Mark Bushman along with you as we wrap things up from City Stadium in Richmond.
It's not a moon, that's a pole.
It's 3/4 of a moon and a pole.
Super moon. Yeah.
Super moon, yeah, that's what that is. Anyways, here's a look at the first goal, Mark. This was after Sacramento had went up 1-0. Matthew Delicott running down the Samuel Asante pass, and look at that finish.
Great.
But you think that finish is good, folks. His second goal was even more prettier, but that was a big goal. Not only, obviously it ties things up, but the quick response after Sacramento went up, Mark, it was like about 2 minutes after Sacramento had went up on Adam John's goal.
Yeah.
It was Deli coming back and Asante just kicking it forward, and a good job of the Jets of Matthew Delicott. And here's this one. How about this one, huh? Look at, and we all both thought maybe George Davis IV had held that too long. Look at that finish. What touch.
You can't coach that, Mike.
No.
He is. Like I said, he had about a 2-foot window, and he nailed it. And, the defender on that play, I couldn't see who it was, but the defender did not think he was going to be able to make that run, and he just kind of put his hands down. He was furious with himself. And
it was kind of a delayed run, which is what a lot of times forwards will do, and he timed it perfect. And George Davis IV will pick up a very crucial assist. But I thought, Mark, we talked about the importance of this game. I thought it was important. Yeah, obviously, you get a little separation now from Sacramento, but also to get back on the winning ways because they've been, 8 draws coming into tonight. It looked like, after you tied it at 1, maybe it was going to be a 9th draw. I think this is an important win for Richmond.
Absolutely. Like I said, they haven't played great at home the last couple of games. A couple of draws with Wilmington, with Real Salt Lake, and then the loss in the Open Cup to New England. So it was very important for Richmond to kind of reestablish themselves at home and make it a place that the other teams don't want to come into and play. So it was a lot of guts, a good statement for Richmond.
So that's going to wrap things up of our coverage of Richmond Kickers Soccer. Once again, the final score tonight from City Stadium, Richmond 2, Sacramento 1. On behalf of our production team and broadcast partners, Mark Bushman, I'm Mike Neville. Once again, we thank you for watching the final score again from City Stadium, 2-1, Richmond the winner. So long, everybody, from Richmond, Virginia.
Honestly, I thought you
You can't teach that. I mean, it's like tell you.